So these are the Beats Fit Pro, and it's Beats' version of the AirPods Pro. In fact, it has the exact same features as the AirPods Pro, but retails for $20 less at $199. The only difference between these and the AirPods Pro is obviously design and form factor, but you don't get wireless charging. If you want wireless charging, you still have to buy AirPods. Now this is the box. I've been using it for 5 or 6 days, but I still want to give you guys a faux unboxing experience because I think it's important that you see what you get with your purchase. When you open it up, you're presented with the Beats pill-shaped case, and this reminds me of a smaller version of the PowerBeats Pro case. There's tons of different colors you can choose from. I personally went with the gray because I like how they matched it with a cream color, which I think looks super sweet. And then once you remove the first layer of the box, you get your ear tips, 2 extra pairs. You have your large and small. Medium is placed on the buds by default. And then you have a USB Type-C cable. That's right, USB Type-C, just like the Beats Studio Buds, but unlike the AirPods Pro, and the PowerBeats Pro. On the back, you have a bunch of paperwork, and of course, the option to try Apple Music for 3 months for free. Now, to give you guys some context on how big the case is compared to its brothers and sisters, you have the biggest one, which is the PowerBeats Pro. These are chunky. I still think they're kind of pocketable, but still best carried in a wallet. Who carries headphones in a wallet? In a bag or some sort of purse. But I've been using these guys as my main running headphones. I love these things in terms of fit and comfortability. They have physical controls on them, which none of these things do. But the only thing I don't like about the PowerBeats Pro, which drives me crazy, is the fact that they sometimes don't charge. They don't have those crazy magnets that these guys have. Like, there's magnets in here, but they're not as strong. And sometimes I'll put them on after charging overnight and one of them is still dead. So it's like I'm gambling every time I put on these headphones. The biggest strength about these guys, besides the physical controls, is the battery life. Like, these guys just last forever. The Beats Fit Pros are a lot more easy to manage. Like, these magnets are super strong. Like, you place those things in there and you know the contact points are gonna touch each other. I've already used these on 2 runs and I prefer the form and fit. Like I said, the only thing that I truly missed was being able to change the volume on the fly, but I think I'm gonna switch to these over the PowerBeats Pro because of the more reliable charging. Now, the Beats Studio Buds are great for the price, but I was never a fan of them. I find them very hard to take out of the case, and I don't like buds that don't have like a wingtip like these guys to keep them in my ear, because just like the AirPods Pro, I find they fall out a lot. Like AirPods Pro, I'd place them in and literally in 10 minutes I'd be talking to someone and one of the buds fall out. But in all fairness, I'm a little weird, okay? Because the AirPods 2 or 1 or even the brand new 3s fit perfectly in my ear. Like, I can run with them and they'll never fall out. Now, the Fit Pros, like I said, have all the same features as the AirPods Pro. So they're IPX4 sweat resistant, so you don't have to worry about them breaking down if you sweat at the gym or go for a run. And they still have all the same features like spatial audio, Dolby Atmos, head tracking, fixed head tracking, noise cancellation, which, by the way, is significantly better than the AirPods Pro. I was testing these two against each other, and the AirPods Pro have always been great when it comes to ANC, but these guys are slightly better. I think it's because they go a little bit deeper in your ear, they stay more secure because of that wingtip, and it can block out more noise. Now, in terms of comfortability, like I said, I'm a weird dude. I still think the AirPods 3 or 2 are the most comfortable headphones I've ever worn, but these are comfortable too. Like, I couldn't wear these all day, but for workouts, maybe 2 hours of use, they're absolutely fine. They don't go all the way into your ear, but in enough that it does kind of block up the seal around it. You can still hear the outside world, but if it's still not enough for you, you can activate transparency mode on your iPhone or Android device, which allows you to hear your surroundings better. Now, just like the AirPods Pro, transparency mode works great. Some of the best transparency modes I've heard on headphones, period. And of course, you can toggle between those 3 functions by going into your volume settings on your iPhone or using the Beats app on an Android device. And that's the thing, with the Beats Fit Pro, you get a lot better compatibility, especially if you're jumping between Android and iOS devices, right? You connect these to an Android phone, you still get most of the features. You'll lose Siri, which is fine, and you'll lose that continuity, which allows you to switch between any Apple device instantly, but you still retain transparency mode, you still retain active noise cancellation, you have an app to change things where you don't get that with the AirPods Pro. So I think in that situation, if you're living in that sort of mixed world, these guys make a lot more sense. Now, when it comes to sound quality, which is probably the most important thing, it's the same story as other Beats headphones. You're getting a lot more bass that's emphasized. It's like they took the sound spectrum and took it from the middle and pushed it down a bit, right? So you're gonna lose a little bit of treble and mids, but you gain a bit more bass. And I think from a music standpoint, again, it's very subjective, but I think from a music standpoint, I love the way these sound over the AirPods Pro. But if you're more into like podcasting and voices and listening to speech, I think the AirPods Pro sound better. They don't have the same sort of bass as the Fit Pros, but they do have better treble and mids. They sound a bit more balanced, and they favor the speaking voice, right? So if that's you, then you still might want to lean towards these. But the cool thing I noticed is if you activate spatial audio on the Beats Fit Pro, then voices tend to sound better. It gives you more of that stage effect, and I think it just makes listening to podcasts easier. On top of that, you just get better battery life. You know, like I rock these things, I'm literally getting 4, maybe 4.5 hours of use before needing to charge. With the Beats Fit Pro, I'm going all the way up to 6 hours. Like, it's just better considering that these things are $20 cheaper. Now, I can't wirelessly charge these, which is unfortunate, but it does have USB Type-C, which means it's compatible with a lot more chargers out there. Whereas these guys, sure, you get wireless charging, but you're kind of stuck to Lightning. Now, just like the AirPods Pro, if you take these things out of your ear, the music will automatically stop playing. And as soon as you put them back in, they will begin to play again. That's something you couldn't do on the Beats Studio Buds. It wasn't available. These are not using IR like on the original AirPods. They're using skin detection. So it's a lot more accurate when you take them in and out. Now listening to the microphones coming from the AirPods Pro. You are now listening to the microphones coming from the AirPods Pro. This is what the microphone sounds like on the Beats Fit Pro. You are now listening to the microphone on the Beats Fit Pro. So here's the bottom line. I personally think people should hold off buying the PowerBeats Pro. These things are like $250 and more expensive than all of these guys. And I don't think it's worth the price at this point anymore. But if you had to choose between the AirPods Pro and the Beats Fit Pro, I'd personally lean towards the Beats Fit Pro. Not only are they $20 cheaper, you get better battery life, USB Type-C charging, and most importantly, it's more compatible with Android devices. I think the only reason to buy the AirPods Pro at this point is if you strictly listen to podcasts, because it's not going to fit everybody's ear perfectly. Whereas these guys, I know for a fact will, because of that wingtip. If you have any more questions about these devices, let me know in the comment section down below. Like the video if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next one.